Let me tell y'all something. When you choose to become her, when you choose to become him, you are going to lose a lot of people you thought were friends. When you choose to level up, you are going to lose a lot of people that you thought were friends. That's why y'all need to level up. Pick up a personal development book. Set some boundaries. Write down what you need in your life and who you need in your life. Write down if your friends are really your friends, because if you got to second guess it, they're not your friends. I'm telling you right now. When you choose to level up, let me tell you what's going to happen when you choose to level up. You're going to get mad respect. People are going to be complimenting you from left to right. People are going to treat you with respect because they know you are treating yourself with respect. Hold on, let me pay for my meal real quick. I'm at Dunkin' Donuts. Got to get the coffee, y'all. Got to get the coffee. Good morning.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I hope this coffee don't be too sweet or too bland. Oh, look at him over here, working over here now. Because the Dunkin' Donuts by my house, they remodeling. So I guess they sent the workers over here. Waiting on my meal. But when you choose to level up, people are going to start respecting you more because you are going to be starting to respect yourself more. Hey.
How's it going?
Good. How's it going?
So far,
How long will it take for them to?
I think they wanted to open it today.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be after this weekend, like Monday.
I can't wait. Driving way over here.
You still waiting on food, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Have a good day. Let me check if they put this on the bagel. Yeah, they did. When you choose to level up, you're going to really see who is there for you and who is around you to benefit from your unhealed self, the broken version of you, the one that doesn't have boundaries, the one that's scared to speak up for her or himself, the one that you probably a people pleaser, because I was a people pleaser, and thank you Jesus that I am no longer a people pleaser. Y'all just don't know. Let me tell you, if you trying to lose weight, but you tried every diet, you tried every workout, you tried everything, let me tell you something, it's spiritual. Because we do not war with flesh and blood. We war with spirits. And when you around the wrong people, toxic people, people that stress you out and raise your cortisol levels, it is so hard for you to lose weight. When I got from around all these toxic people that I've surrounded myself around, and I was toxic too. Don't get me wrong, because birds of a feather flock together. I had some bad habits, some bad behaviors. But when you choose to change that, all that weight is going to drop off like water. I'm telling you, no lie. But you just can't disconnect yourself from them. You got to disconnect yourself from them and work on yourself. And then put the work on. Then try to learn your body. Once you set your boundaries. Once you go find friends that value the things that you value now. Because I no longer value Now I know what I value. I didn't know what I valued back then. I didn't value my time because I was always in the club at night or at the happy hour. I was gossiping on the phone, and you know we all love to gossip. Gossip is like so addictive. We all like to talk about somebody business. But now I don't care. I just mind my business, and that's the business that pays you when you mind your own business. You get so far internally. You start focusing on the things that you need to work on: your confidence, your self-esteem, your emotional intelligence. You start wanting to be emotionally mature instead of emotionally immature. You start healing those mother wounds and those father wounds because you don't want to transfer those wounds to your kids. Listen, once you start knowing what you value, because I value my time now. So what I do with my time, I write my schedule down. I write it out. And I get me a planner. I got me a planner. Get you a planner. Start writing out what you need to do in a day. After you cut off these people, because it's hard for you. I know it's going to be hard for you to cut off people. It's going to be hard for you to say no because it's all a process. But if you really want it, because we only have one life to live, y'all. If you really want to become the best version of yourself, the version of yourself that God sees, because God, see, you got to cultivate. I cultivate the perspective that God has for me, because the perspective that I had for me was no good. I cultivate the perspective that God has for me. He says that we are wonderfully and fearfully made. He says we are the head and not the tail. He says we are the lender and not the borrower. Listen. Once you cultivate God's perspective, or whoever God you serve, listen, Jesus Christ is the only way, the truth, and the light. When you do that and you change your belief system, you change the way you feel about yourself. And when you change the way you feel about yourself, you don't want to drink alcohol because you know what you're doing to your body. You aging when you drink alcohol. It's hard for you to lose weight when you drink alcohol because it ain't nothing but sugar. You're watching, you're being mindful of what you're putting in your body. You ain't eating all this processed food and sugary food and food with high salt and high cholesterol. You ain't doing that no more. You're watching the conversations you engage in. Because you know when you talk about people, you only talking about you at the end of the day. You watching the environments you go in. If they're not environments that's going to uplift me, that's going to give me, that's going to send me in the direction that I want my life to go in, I'm not going in them environments. I'm not going into clubs. I'm not going into places that's toxic. That doesn't mean my mental, my emotional state, my physical state, no good. I do not want to go into them places. I don't care if it's people's houses. I don't even want to go into toxic people's houses no more. Even if they my families. I don't even want them at my house. Family, friend, it don't matter. If I know I'm changing my life and you still set in your ways and you don't want to change your life, because you can't force people to change now. You can only influence them by the changes that you make for yourself. That's it. We can't change nobody because nobody couldn't change me. Shoot. I had to wake up on my own. And it's hard to change ourselves. It's hard. Because the brain likes comfortability. It wants to stay in the ways that were set from the very beginning. From what you've seen growing up, from the environments you were in growing up, from what you've seen, how to resolve conflict, how to handle conflict. It wants to use those same behaviors, those same reactions. The brain wants to. So when you want to change the ways of those behavior, how you talk to yourself, how you talk to people, how you respond to conflict. When you want to change that, you got to be very intentional. You got to be very mindful. You got to be very aware. You got to be attentive. And you got to make sure you taking care of your emotional health, your spiritual. Make sure you connecting with God. And see what God wants you to do with your life. It's a beautiful feeling. Because it's like, dang, if I would have chose to get my life together when I was 25, it's like, where would I be right now? But see, I don't want to think like that. You know, God, it is what it is. What God has for me will always be for me. What God has for you will always be for you. If you align your internal, that spirit, as a man thinketh, so is he. As a lady thinketh, as a woman thinketh, so is she. It's all about what you think about yourself, how you feel about yourself, what you believe, what you see, your personal outlook on life, your personal perspective. See, I don't go by my old perspective no more. I don't process information like I used to process information. I don't see the world how I used to see the world when I was behaving in those toxic ways. I process my emotions, my past experience through the mind of Christ so I can get the biblical perspective. I look at the world through the biblical lens. And that's what's saving my mind and my body and my soul, my spirit, all that. I'm telling you something good now. God wants you to love you before you go out here giving yourself away to the wrong people that don't value you because they don't value themselves. Anybody that don't, if you don't value yourself, then you're going to put yourself in somebody's hands that don't value you either, because they don't value themselves. You're going to connect people. You're going to connect with some toxic people. You can say you have the nicest heart. You can say you're a great person. But if you overextending yourself, that ain't good. That's unhealthy. That's unhealthy. When I was a people pleaser, when I was the nice girl, I was very unhealthy. Mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So, let me get home. I gotta take a shower. I went to the gym this morning. And I'm gonna go again because I only did calisthenics this morning. So later on, I'm gonna do with some weightlifting. And I'm gonna record that workout as well because I recorded my workout this morning. But right now I got to take a shower. I got to take my son to his neurology appointment, which is way in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm already gassed up. I got my schedule set for today. I'm very intentional. I said my affirmations, and then I put work towards those affirmations. I made some actionable steps. Is actionable a word? I took some actionable steps. Listen, when you start treating yourself with love, and love is an action word. Love is just not an emotion. When you start doing that, people will treat you the same way. Now, you're going to get some ignorant people here and there. But when you know that we don't wrestle with flesh and blood, we wrestle with spirits and evil wickedness in high places and principalities. That's why you got to be loyal to your principles. Don't be loyal to people. When you're loyal to your principles, you treat people good. All right.